Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching yet another episode of Lima, Shenanigans 1977. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It is time for the NXT Event Center from events from the NXT Wrestling Show on the CW Network, plus matches from NXT Level Up. And now, here's the host of the show, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977, episode number 1775 of the show. And we got to talk about what happened on NXT. We got it. It has been the craziest NXT ever. The fallout from Halloween Havoc leading into next week. Now, note for next week. NXT will not be on Tuesday because of the primary debate going on and because of the election that's going on November 5th. So, they're moving it to Wednesday to do battle against AEW Dynamite. I'm probably going to watch Dynamite on my computer and watch NXT on my TV because we're talking craziness, man. We're talking utmost insanity as we speak. So, be on the lookout for that, and this is going to be so much fun. In fact, NXT 2300 Arena, we're talking major matches. I mean, seriously, whacked out, man. Totally awesome. But we got to talk about what happened on NXT Level Up, the Level Up before Halloween Havoc on the 25th, this past Friday. So, Dion Lennox went one-on-one with Joe Coffey. And Lennox was doing well until the rest of the Gallows boys, Wolfgang and Joe's brother Mark, got involved, giving Coffey the win over Lennox. Then all three members of Gallows decided to attack Lennox after the matchup. But then Cutler James and Shiloh Hill come to Lennox's aid. And Sarah Schreiber interviewed Tyra May Steele, the Olympic gold medalist, and she says she is determined to win her first match, and she's still learning, though. Izzy Dame interrupts Steele, because that was her opponent, and Izzy Dame just basically said she's going to beat her. Tyra May Steele took on Izzy Dame, and Izzy Dame ended up picking up the victory. Meanwhile, while there were three guys working at the Performance Center gym, Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors were working in lifting weights, and Drake Moreau was working on the other weights. But then Uriah Connors goes, "Hey, give me some more weights." And so Cale Dixon foolishly grabbed one of the weights from Drake Moreau's dumbbells and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And and they started disrespecting Drake Moreau. And then Dante Chen stands up to Dixon and Connors for Drake Moreau, leads into a tag team matchup. Drake Moreau and Dante Chen versus Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors. And Dante Chen and Drake Moreau did pick up the victory in retaliation for Drake Moreau. So let's kick it off. So the Halloween Havoc Fallout kicks off with the casket match. The first women's casket match in WWE history as Tatum Paxley takes on Wendy Chu. Now, here's another thing too. It's the third casket match in WWE history that never involved either Brother of Destruction, Kane or The Undertaker. The first casket match that never involved either Brother of Destruction, Triple H taking on Viscera and Mideon, because The Undertaker was supposed to be part of that matchup, but he was out. And then the second casket match that never got involved between The Undertaker and or Kane, it would be Grayson Waller and Apollo Crews, the first casket match in NXT history, and this recent one. This was a heck of a matchup. I mean, Wendy Chu brought out of bed. Don't know what's happened. They brought out a dollhouse. It got wrecked. There were Legos and everything else, but in the end, Tatum Paxley picked up the victory over Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu's having a very rough weekend. She and Rosemary lost down on the Knockouts Tag Team titles, gets betrayed by Rosemary after the matchup, and now this. And Trick Williams decided to address the Orlando crowd about being the NXT champion, and he wanted to talk to Bubba Ray Dudley. And Bubba Ray Dudley comes out, and Trick Williams goes, "Hey, hear me out. How about this? I know you got disrespected to Ridge Holland. So did I. I say Ethan Page, Ridge Holland versus you and me." And next week he says, no. This is about you. Bubba Ray was trying to be a classy guy, a classy legend. This is about you guys, not about me and everything else. It's about you, you know. And Trick Williams understood that. So, and then Abel was talking to Rob Van Dam about the situation. And you know what? I want to be part of it. I'll let you know. And I'll let you know what I want to do. And then Ava goes, okay. Keilani joins and says, hey, listen, Ava, I might want a one-on-one, just a one-on-one rematch. I understand. And Ava goes, I'll talk about it. Then Nikita Lyons interrupts her. And, you know, basically this is her. And so we're having that matchup. Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen will talk about the Tony D'Angelo, possibly a possible challenge. And as they went to go talk to the Don, say, hey, there's a voicemail, you got to hear this. And then they asked him to leave. They left. And Tony D'Angelo hears, hey, I heard you coming to Philadelphia. Very disrespectful. That North American title looks good on you, but you better bring it. So is that, you know, and I think Vic Joseph assumes that's Nunzio. If it's Nunzio, a.k.a. Little Guido Maritato, dude, Tony D'Angelo is going to be put to the test on this one. And so the Heritage Cup title was on the line. Charlie Dempsey versus Lexis King, who has Mr. William Regal in his corner. Charlie Dempsey's got the no quarter catch crew. And in the first round, Dempsey picks up the first round. Round 2, nobody won. But round 3, Dempsey did 2 straight falls, so to speak, and because Lexis King was hurting his leg. But William Regal, I thought William Regal would betray Lexis King, but I think William Regal is still willing to teach Lexis. We'll see what happens there. Lola Vice addresses Jada Parker, as you know. Jada Parker and Lola Vice will go at it in a hardcore matchup, but the special guest referee will be none other than Dawn Marie. And so Lola Vice is warning Miss Parker what she's capable of doing in a hardcore match. And a debut, Brindley Reese. Now this Brindley Reese, not her debut, but she decided to take on the debuting lady from Australia, Zarya. And Zarya was not joking around. She took, even as she grabbed Brindley Reese's arm, put it out of place, and then socked it back in. And then Brindley Reese was pulling the Alexa Bliss thing. And I'm going, is she able to flex her arms like that too? And and then she hits Brindley Reese with the F5. She wins the matchup. As she was celebrating, Fatal Influence comes out. Say, hey, you made me new here. Do you care? No, we don't care. But you don't mess with Fatal Influence. And so, Fallon Henley, the new NXT Women's North American Champion, alongside JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. Here comes Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Said, hey, congratulations. New champion, stepping each other, but we want to introduce Zarya to the rest of the NXT universe. And so all 5 women were surrounding Zarya. I'm like, Zarya is at a disadvantage. Keilani Jordan comes out. Said, hey girl, I got you. And so that makes it 5-on-2. But then Julia and Stephanie Vaquer come to the ring and decide to back up Zarya and Keilani Jordan. Imagine this. 3 of the biggest international signings are all in one team. Gets even better. Jordan Grace ends up showing up. All 5, now it's even. All 5 women brawl. Imagine this, okay? Imagine this. You got Jordan Grace, the first ever NXT Women's North American Champion, Keilani Jordan, and 3 of the biggest international signings of the WWE, all joining forces together. NXT Women's Division is on serious fire right now. And now it leads to a 10-woman tag team match next week at the 2300 Arena. On one team, Fatal Influence, teaming up with Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez against Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Zarya, Keilani Jordan, and Jordan Grace. That is a huge 10-woman tag. And then Keilani Jordan was still in the ring. She took on Nikita Lyons one-on-one. Nikita Lyons almost had the matchup until Adriana Rizzo arrived during the matchup. Distracted Lyons, Keilani Jordan took advantage. Keilani Jordan picked up the victory. But Adriana Rizzo attacked Lyons after the match, saying, "She attacked me. I knew it. I knew that Nikita Lyons was responsible. When Opa Femi handed her the jacket, I said, I had a feeling." I put two and two together. It was Nikita Lyons. It wasn't lying at all. Ethan Page addressing losing the NXT titles. He's not done with that by a long shot. Ridge Holland interrupts Page. And Ridge Holland had his say and said, "Listen, I want a shot at the title." Here comes Bubba Ray Dudley back out. So you disrespected me, Dave LaGreca, the fans. And then as he was talking, he hit Ridge Holland. After Ridge Holland disrespected him again. And then Ethan Page attacked him from behind. Both men were working on Bubba Ray. Trick Williams comes back out, evens up the thing, and then Bubba Ray goes, "You know what? I changed my mind. We're having that tag match next week, 2300 Arena." Beautiful. Beautiful. But then the five ladies, Keilani Jordan, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Zarya, and Jordan Grace were talking about the match where they want. You know, Stephanie Vaquer says, "I'll take Roxanne." And then Julia says, I'm not done with Cora Jade. And then Zarya goes, "Give me Fatal Influence." And then Jordan Grace, "I'll help you out with that." And then Keilani goes, "Well, leave Fallon to me." But then Rhea Ripley comes in, gives him a good pep talk. He says, "Next week, blow the roof off." When Zarya had a smile on her face, I said, Zarya and Rhea Ripley in the same Australian school. I'm telling you, it was on fire. But someone had to ruin it, and I will get to that. Jada Parker responded to Lola Vice about the hardcore matchup. Stevie Turner and Mr. Stone were talking to Ava about that whole thing, and he Thorpe approaches them and says, "Hey, I want to talk." But the two referees were racing to the parking lot. What's going on? Now, as they were racing by to see Raquel and Liv Morgan with baseball bats, a door was open in a car. Rhea Ripley was attacked. And I tweeted out, Zarya should make Raquel and Liv pay for that. If I were Rhea Ripley, I would recruit Zarya and challenge both Raquel and Liv to a tag team matchup. But now, also, Francine was on X, and she announced that she's going to be at NXT. And I'm going, holy mackerel, next week at the 2300 Arena. What role is she going to play in there? Oh boy, with the women's division as it is, if I were Francine, I would referee that 10-woman tag. I'm telling you right now. But then the tag team titles were on the line. Nathan Frazier and Axiom in the main event, defending as Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. During the matchup, Wesley arrived with a steel chair. Evans decided to go after him, leaving Alexander in the ring with the champs, and they ended up retaining the title. Lee and Evans were brawling in the back, and RVD breaks it up, and RVD looks at, he said, "I know exactly what to do. I'll see you next week." He just gave me an idea. That's what he said. So, NXT is on fire right now. On freaking fire. And imagine, and I think the ratings are going to go up the roof next week at the 2300 Arena on NXT. NXT gets ready to go to the extreme. Now I'll be the type of guy looking forward to that. So, that's all the time we have on the show. Episode 1775 is complete. Thank you for tuning into the show. And until the next episode comes rolling around, tomorrow we got the Joker's Wild. And I got some news. I'll give you the news tomorrow on my Shenanigans arcade situation. You might want to tune in for that too. So that's all going to be for tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.